Welcome to Faith It Till You Make It, the podcast where faith meets entrepreneurship and business. This is episode 9, and as we know, if you've watched the news, there is a lot going on in the world right now, and I feel like this was the perfect time to talk about some ways that we can reduce stress as business owners. So we are going to call this episode Working Well, and I'm going to give you some pointers on how you can prioritize well, vent well, which we'll get into that. And also how you can balance well and, utilize different resources outside of work that will ultimately help you balance your life outside of work and your work life and any other type of extracurricular activities that you do or different programs you're a part of. Whatever it is, it's going to help you kind of balance those things out and reduce the stress that you may feel as a business owner right now. So first, I want to talk about prioritizing well. If you've listened to a couple of the episodes, you know that I always talk about making lists and coming up with a daily routine and things like that. But I say that because it's something that I have found that works really, really well. And so for prioritizing, maybe you're not the person that uses a planner, but one thing that every business should have is a daily operations routine. So when you wake up in the morning, whether you're going into a brick and mortar store or you work from home, what's your daily operational schedule like? Is it random? Because if it is, that may be one of the things adding to your daily stress. You should have a daily operation schedule that if someone came in and said, hey, I want to take over your business for the day, you could hand them something and they knew how to take over and know how to do everything. And I know that sounds crazy if you're just maybe having a couple customers a day or something like that, but there may come a time where someone may need to take over, or there may come a time where you need some additional help and you don't even know where to tell someone to start because you don't have a daily operations schedule or a daily operations routine. So it's very vital and important to balance out and help you reduce some of the stress that you may be feeling is to go ahead and create a daily operations routine or schedule. Whether that looks like, when you get in, certain passcodes have to be entered into the security if you're in a brick and mortar, or you wake up and you check all your emails and you respond to ones that need to be responded to within 24 to 48 hours, or whatever the first thing needs to be for your different business, making sure that you have a list and you prioritize that list well. Priorities should always be listed because I feel like a lot of people, they put the priorities in their mind, but they're scrambling around and they know they have so many things to get to, but they haven't actually written it down. And when you can write down, I always call them brain dumps. And so what I do is I dump my brain out on paper. Everything that's going on in my mind, I put it on paper. And then I organize them starting with the number 1. And when I organize them, I prioritize them by how well I can get them done. Because I want to be efficient in how I'm getting it done. How fast I can get it done. And then if I have the materials and resources to get it done right here, right now. And so if I have all those things, those are going to be the things I prioritize first to get them out of the way. And then sometimes I'll tackle the harder tasks later. And so you want to make sure that you have a daily operation schedule, a routine. You want to make sure you prioritize that. You don't want to put some of the harder tasks at the very beginning of your day where you don't have any energy to finish out the day, or you ignore the small tasks that are also very important because you're trying to tackle something that may be harder. Instead, sometimes it's better to go ahead and get those very small tasks out the way so they won't just be kind of rambling in your mind. And then you could tackle the hard thing because the hard thing is going to need most of your attention and it's going to need for you to be focused. And for you to be focused, you're going to have your brain clear of all those other little things going on. And so if you never did a brain dump, I feel like that's probably one of the best things that I've come up with to help me free up my mind when I have so much that I need to get done. I write it all out on paper and then I prioritize from there. But it helps me free up what I envision is going on in my head, all the letters and words and everything, and I put it on paper, and that really, really helps me. So make sure you take advantage of doing what I call brain dumps and dump all of that stuff out so then you can prioritize and organize it. The next thing is venting well. And what I mean by venting well is if you are a business owner and you have been for quite some time, you know that there are stressors that can come with being a business owner, and we may have the tendency to reach out to a friend or a family member or someone close to us to vent about what we're going through as a business owner. And then sometimes you can get discouraged or you get frustrated because they may not know the right thing to say. They may not have the answer, and you may not actually feel better after speaking with them. Because a lot of times when you're overwhelmed, people say the best thing to do is to let it out and vent. That is correct. You should sit down, let it out, talk to someone. But who you talk to is very important. So you want to make sure you're venting well. Instead of going to family and friends, and the only reason I say sometimes to avoid them is because if they've never owned a business, they may not know what you're going through. And they may mean well, but they may not give you the answers that you need. So instead, it would be better for you to seek the right type of guidance. Maybe if you have a business mentor, you can reach out. Or if you need one, you can go to the SBA website, and for each city, they have what's called SCORE mentors. And you can reach out to someone in your city to give you kind of some feedback, kind of give you some help, some guidance, and actually answer the questions you have versus, just kind of hearing your voice kind of flow off a wall while you're talking to people who may not understand what you're going through or what you're even talking about. And so you want to make sure you're reaching out to people who can actually help. I love my family and friends. I love that I can go to them, bounce ideas off of them. But there does come a time where I have to go to people who actually know what I'm going through and who actually may be able to give me some sound advice because they own a business or they've started multiple businesses and they just have better advice for specifically what I may be going through at the moment. Another thing is venting well, meaning sometimes it's good news that you need to share. Sometimes it's your business. You have a bright idea that's going to take your business to the next level, or you got new funding, or, just you're able to partner with a new business and you're ready to go tell the world. Well, venting well also goes hand in hand with good news because not everybody you should share that with. That shouldn't be shared with everyone. I've learned that with having a relationship with God, He'll guide me to who I should share things with. Because as much as we want to believe that everybody loves and supports us, sometimes, somebody may say something that may not be what you need to hear at the time while you're giving that information. Or it could just be God don't want you to speak on it yet. Some things are because He told you, it's between you and Him, and He'll show you who to share them with. So just be careful that even good news, you should be careful to vent well. Make sure you're telling someone who actually will be supportive in it, but also make sure you're telling someone that God told you to share it with. Everything isn't for you to share, and sometimes you'll share it, and people will have 1,000 questions about what you're sharing, and now you feel stressed about the good thing versus versus feeling celebrated. So you may come to someone and say, hey, I got this great idea and I'm going to do this partnership. And then the person may have 1,000 questions. Well, how are you going to do this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? And it's great that they care enough to ask the questions, but maybe in that moment you just need to be celebrated. And now you're feeling stressed and tensed and you didn't even get to have your small moment of celebration because you shared it with the wrong person. So you want to make sure you are venting well. Get a mentor. Get a SCORE mentor, or pray and ask God to send you a mentor. Or maybe even if it's, let's say right now, everybody's filing their taxes and you're having some tax questions and maybe, you want to reach out. Reach out to a business person. I have friends that definitely will reach out to me and ask me questions. They keep me in the loop and I share what I do know. And then I try to help them find someone. If I don't know the answer, I try to research it or I try to send them to someone who knows the answer. And so I think that's the best thing to do instead of just going to people who they love you, they mean well, but you're a business owner now. It's time for you to go to the right place to get the right information. And to me, that will take so much stress out of how you feel as a business owner. You don't have to be boggled down with the opinions of others and, upset because you don't know what to do at the moment because you've actually went to the right source to get the right answers. So make sure you're venting well. Lastly is balancing well. And what that means is a lot of stress, I feel like as a business owner, a lot of stress can come from not having balance in your life. So when you're too focused on your career, you're too focused on the business and not enough focus on family, friends, your outside life, or you're too focused with your family and friends and outside life that is stressing your business out because you're missing key points in your business, worried kind of about your outside life. So it's very smart to balance that. And how you balance that may look like you getting counseling. So it's very important to use outside resources. Maybe it's time for you to see a counselor. Mental health counseling is probably one of the best resources for people who have busy lives and people who need help separating the different entities in their life and breaking them down to see how they work well, how you can compartmentalize the different areas that need to be set in place so that you can focus on business while you're working on business. You can focus on family while you're at home, and you're not intertwining those, making it harder for you to focus on work or making it harder when you get home to focus on your family. And counseling helps you do that. Whether you need to reach out to a mental health counselor, or maybe you need to reach out to a psychiatrist, because also, maybe medication is going to be an option for you if it is something mentally that you have been struggling with that's interfering with you getting work done for your business. As a business owner, you want to be present where you are. If you're at work and want to really thrive in your business, you want to be present there. You want to be focused. You want to be making sure it's a priority at that moment. And at the same time, when you go home, you want the same thing with your family. And when you're spending time with friends, or whether you're part of a hobby, doing something that you love outside of work, you want to be present in those places. And for you to do that, sometimes you need outside resources. There's such a stigma on mental health and reaching out for counseling as a weakness, and it's such a strength as a business owner, as a CEO, a boss, someone of power. It's so much strength in you reaching out for an outside resource to make sure that you are thriving in all areas. Where you see there may be extra stressors or anything going on, going through counseling will help you learn the techniques that you need to learn, give you the tools that you need so that each area you can actually thrive. It's important to have balance. And I feel like counseling is such a good resource for you to have balance in all of those areas. And I also feel like making sure you find a counselor that really matches what you're looking for. I know that if you talk to your primary care physician, they may be able to connect you with a directory for you to find one that fits your needs. Or if you're looking for something online, you can look at, I know, betterhelp.com. A lot of people have used that or suggested that. Whichever way you choose to go, just make sure you actually ask for the help, because there's so much strength in asking for help. And I know that the best way for you to be the best business owner is for you to be healthy. The healthier you are, the healthier your business can be. And by going through this counseling, getting the techniques, getting the tools, you now can be a better business owner and have less stress. You'll know how to prioritize certain things. You'll know what to tackle and when not to tackle something. And you'll know when to allow certain things to disrupt your flow of the day. And so I just feel like it's so much wisdom in making sure you reach out to outside resources that can help you, especially in the mental health department, but also in the spiritual department. So your spiritual life. I feel like my entire life is only as good as my spiritual life. So that one-on-one time that I'm spending with God really allows for me to be the best business owner, the best sister, the best friend, the best anything that I can be, is based on the fact that I spend that one-on-one time with God. But also, because I spend that one-on-one time with Him, I am able to read His Word, and His Word allows me to have the ammo and the ammunition and the tools that I need. So when anxious thoughts come, or thoughts of not being in the right business space, or thoughts of the business not thriving and making it, I can defeat them now with the Word of God. But that's only because I've spent time with Him, and I've allowed His scripture to actually captivate me, and I'm able to hold tight to those scriptures, and now I can defeat any of the thoughts that come against me, because we're all going to be offered anxious thoughts. We're all going to be offered thoughts that we're not inadequate, but thankfully God has given us the tools, and He's given us the power to defeat those things, because I want to be confident while I'm working. When I'm at work and I'm thriving and I'm really working in my gift, I want to be confident in it. I don't want to be stressed because there's a feeling of inadequacy or there's a feeling of anxiety that I may be doing something wrong. Instead, because I've spent that one-on-one time with God, I now can tap into the power that He gives me to be confident that I know what I'm doing. And I know that I'm meant to be here, and I know that He has my back in this space and what I'm doing. So making sure your spiritual life is on point is also going to help, because to me, you can't know balance without knowing God. God is going to help you balance that out. He's going to help take some of that stress away, if not all of the stress away, because some of the stress we create, but thankfully, God gives us wisdom and He can help us sort out the things that are stressing us out. So, mental health counseling, spiritual life, but also other businesses to help you. Some of the stress that business owners have is because they're trying to do everything themselves. And that's not going to help you be powerful. It's not going to help your business really thrive. You need help. We all need help. And so going to other businesses to do some of the things that may be stressing your business out, especially if you have the finances to, go ahead and do it. If you need a virtual assistant because you don't have one there, find one online. Find a virtual assistant that can really help you, that you connect with, interview a few people, bring them onto the team. Don't wait till you get so desperately stressed and overwhelmed to reach out and ask for help. You want to go ahead and be ahead, if that makes sense. Go ahead and be ahead, because you know that life can get overwhelming at times. So why not, if you have the resources and the funding, to go ahead and put in place the things that you need to be prepared for what life may bring. Also, your health. That's another thing. What health benefits could you add to your life to help you reduce stress? Are there vitamins that you should be taking and you're not? Because like I said, the healthier we are, the better our business can be. And if you want to reduce some of that stress, maybe sometimes it's health related. When is the last time that you've seen your doctor? When is the last time that you got a checkup, checked your blood levels, and seen where you are to see? Maybe, for me, I recognized when I went to the doctor, it was my iron. Sometimes I didn't have a lot of energy, and I was just wondering what was wrong with me, and I was super iron deficient, and I had to find supplements to help me with that, and I feel so much better when I'm able to get up and have the energy to tackle the day. And so that's another thing. What health resources do you need? And a lot of times when we think about stress, we don't even think about all of this stuff. We think about the actual items that are stressing us, and we don't think that it could be something else, or that it could be this plus the other stuff that's on our mind. And so taking this into consideration, to me, is really going to help you become a better business owner. It's going to help you work well, and it's going to help reduce that stress. Because honestly, we have enough going on in the world. We don't want to be stressing our business. Your business is where you should be thriving. Your gift should be shining, and you should be enjoying what you're doing. But to do that, you have to take care of the other pieces of your life, which is going to cause you sometimes to reach out and get some help. And so I hope this has been so informational, and I know it may be jam-packed, so make sure you listen to it again if you need to. But I'm excited that you're going to take this information, you're going to apply it to your life, and you're going to see growth. And you're going to see so much change. And I want that for you. I want that for your business, because in a world where there are wars going on and we're seeing gas prices rise and everything else, you don't need another thing to stress about. You need to be living a life that every day shows that you spend time with Jesus. You need to be shining. That's what your life should look like. And for you to be able to do that, these are some of the things you may need to take in consideration. So remember, we're going to prioritize well, we're going to vent well, and then we're also going to shop well, which means we're going to go look for some outside resources and figure out how they can help us become less stressed and better business owners, because a healthier you is a healthier business. And so I appreciate you so much, especially my returning listeners, and how many downloads we have got. I am really shocked, but I'm not shocked because God is good, but I'm shocked because I just feel like I should have started this a long time ago. I should have been doing this a long time ago, but I am so grateful for you. And as always, if you need anything, make sure you reach out to me. You can DM me at the Clarissa Christine on Instagram. And we also have a Facebook page now, so make sure you check that out. It is the name of my business, Clarissa's Creative Consulting. And I post tips and resources to help your business. So make sure you go like and follow us on Facebook. And you also can submit your questions on there. I hope everyone has a great week. I will continue to keep you in my prayers. And as always, I love y'all. And I'll see you back next week with another great topic to help you be a better business owner, because the healthier you are as a business owner, the healthier your business will be.